Good afternoon, Key Stage 1. Sorry, but it's a little bit dark in here. I've got some internet issues this afternoon. We are going to do lesson 2 today of our sliders and levers design technology. So if you remember, we were working on looking at mechanisms, components that go together to cause an action and make something move within a product. And last week we had fun making our gingerbread man sliders. This week we're going to focus on a different traditional tale. So let's try my best to share my screen. There it is. Our traditional tale this week is Jack and the Beanstalk. Move my face out the way first so I can read. Once upon a time there was a boy called Jack. Jack lived in a cottage with his mother. They were very poor and their most valuable possession was a cow. One day, Jack's mother asked him to take the cow to market to sell. On the way, Jack met a man who gave him some magic beans in exchange for the cow. When Jack came home with the beans, his mother was angry. She threw the beans out of the window and sent him to bed. The next morning, Jack looked out of the window and saw a giant beanstalk had grown in the garden. Jack decided to climb the beanstalk. It was so tall it went right up to the sky and through the clouds. When Jack finally reached the top, he saw an enormous castle. Jack decided to go inside. All the furniture was huge. Suddenly, Jack heard a loud noise. He ran into a cupboard to hide. An enormous giant came into the room. "Fee, fi, fo, fum, I smell the blood of an Englishman," he bellowed. The giant sat down at the table, and on the table was a hen and a golden harp. "Lay," said the giant, and the hen laid an egg. It was made out of solid gold. "Sing," said the giant, and the harp sang. The giant fell asleep. Jack jumped out of the cupboard and took the hen and the harp, and as Jack ran, the harp cried, "Help, master!" The giant woke up and called, "Fee, fi, fo, fum, I smell the blood of an Englishman." He chased Jack to the top of the beanstalk. Jack climbed down the beanstalk, and the giant followed him. As Jack got to the bottom of the beanstalk, he shouted, "Help!" Jack's mother came out with an axe. She used it to chop the bottom of the beanstalk. The giant fell and crashed to the ground. He was never seen again. With the golden eggs and the magic harp, Jack and his mother lived happily ever after. So, this is what we're going to try to do this afternoon. So we're going to be exploring something called levers. So last week it was sliders that go from side to side or up and down. You're going to be making a lever and using it in your product. Today you're going to be working to decide how long your lever needs to be. You're going to be deciding where to put your pivot. Make a hole in the picture and lever, and then use a split pin to assemble it. You're going to be checking that your lever works and moving the pivot if the picture doesn't move how you want it to. So you'll need to change it if you don't like how it's working. So today you're going to turn part of the story into a moving picture using a lever mechanism. A lever is a bar which turns around a pivot. So this is the lever, if you can see my arrow here that the man is holding. And this is the pivot here, the point about which the lever turns. So when this man applies pressure and pushes down, the other end of the lever will move the boulder up. So it's moving around this pivot. So step 1, you need to decide how long you want your lever to be. Step 2, you're going to cut out the picture of Jack or draw your own picture of Jack and stick it to the end of the lever. So your lever is a strip of paper or card if you've got it. Decide where you want to place your pivot. Okay, so the best way to do this is to just experiment and try. If you put your lever onto your paper and put your finger where the black dot is, and then move your lever around, see whether it achieves the effect that you want. Then you could have a go at moving it up slightly, push your finger, hold it in place with your finger and just slide it around, just to test out before you commit to putting a hole in it and putting your split pin. So you're going to put some sticky tack or something soft behind the place where you want to make a hole. Well, we do this in school. We either use Play-Doh if we've got it. If not, you can actually just lay it onto the carpet, and we use the tip of a sharp pencil to gently push to make a small hole first. We can then put the split pin in. If you don't have a split pin at home, you can use a paper clip or something else just to hold the two pieces together. That's going to allow it to move round. Place sticky tack behind the place you want to make a hole and make the hole in the background. So same way, lay it on a soft surface, use a sharp pencil and very gently push through. If you push too hard and too quick, you're going to make the hole far too big. So it might take a few attempts to get this right. Step 6 is to assemble. You push your split pin through your lever and then through your background. Open up the ends at the back and check to see if your lever is working. Okay, now all of you in year 1 and year 2 have had experience using split pins and making holes in pieces of paper safely, because you've all been with me and Mrs. Rogers in Dormouse class at some point at Barnes Green School, and we have taught you that on lots and lots and lots of different occasions, so you should be really expert in this. So your lever will move something like that. So just like last week, there'll be an attachment on the blog post which will have your background and your pictures of Jack to climb your beanstalk, but please feel free to draw your own if you don't want to print those. And then at the bottom of that document there'll be the instructions for you to follow. Top tips. So have a think at the end of after you've been creating about any advice that you could give to people who are going to be doing this next year maybe. So maybe something that's gone wrong in your design today. Don't get despondent and don't get down about it going wrong. Use it as a lesson and a way of learning, because if you've gone wrong somewhere, it will teach you and you'll be able to tell others how they can fix that mistake next time. So it's all part of the learning curve, as my mum used to say to me, or still does actually. It's all part of the learning curve. So don't worry if it goes wrong. Don't worry if you push too hard and make an enormous hole. Cut another piece of paper, have another try. Okay, good luck. I'm looking forward to seeing your levers. Once you've done Jack climbing the beanstalk, you could perhaps think about creating a lever for Jack's mum. So the lever could be the axe that's moving from side to side. Are you here to say hello? Turn around and say hello. Look. Rosie's come to join us this afternoon. You've all seen Rosie on my iPad lots of times. I'm going to say hello to the children. Say hello. I'm going to be doing their levers this afternoon. So Rosie's excited to see as well. But yeah, if you want to try different parts of the story and turn them into different levers, that would be fantastic. So you could make a lever for the axe that moves backwards and forwards. Yes, I love you too. you could make a slider from last week and add it to your picture and have the harp and the hen going up and down the beanstalk. You could have the magic beans on the end of a lever being thrown out of the window of Jack's house. So lots and lots of different ways, if you get really good at this and you become a bit of an expert, that you can challenge yourself and develop your work further. What do you think, Rosie? Do you agree? Yeah, she definitely agrees. Good luck, everybody. Have fun. And I'm looking forward to seeing all your work later. But for now, me and Rosie are going to say goodbye and we'll see you next time. Bye.